Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, 3 years ago, an issue many of you in this room had admirably worked on for years was thrust into the global development stage in a way few of us thought possible. I remember sitting in the audience of CGI in 2010 and thinking, could clean cook stoves really be the issue that truly unleashes the potential of women and girls around the world? But as we all know, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton is a visionary. She always has been. Through her various roles over the years, she's demonstrated that the combination of sheer will, political savvy, powerful ideas, and lasting partnerships can change the world. Because of the spotlight she shone on the devastating consequences of household air pollution on people and the planet, more and more people around the world are embracing the idea that one clean cook stove and fuel source can have a ripple effect that transforms a woman, a family, a community, a nation, and the world for the better. When Secretary Clinton launched the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves and said that this could be as transformative as bed nets or vaccines, she set a high but necessary bar as we began working toward our 100 by 20 goal. 3 years in, I am imbued with the notion that we can not only do this, but we will do it. The stakes are too high and the momentum too strong. And we have Secretary Clinton to thank for catalyzing this movement and laying the foundation for a world in which cooking does not kill. Tonight, we are very honored that Secretary Clinton has decided to serve as the chair of the Alliance's Leadership Council, a distinguished group of world leaders with the reach, capacity, and expertise to help us achieve our vision of a world with 0 deaths from household air pollution. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming and honoring our distinguished guest of the evening, Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton.
So exciting. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Radha, for that introduction, but so much more than that. Thanks for your leadership, and thanks to all of you who are here on behalf of this important cause. I want to thank Kathy Calvin of the United Nations Foundation, Chris Balderston, who nurtured the Alliance at the State Department, all of you, friends, investors, supporters who have helped the Alliance grow so rapidly. And I can't believe it's the 3rd anniversary of the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves. And usually by the time you're 3, you're off and running. And we are off and running, and it feels so right. Because when we started 3 years ago at the annual meeting of the Clinton Global Initiative, which is across the street where I've been for the last 3 days, we launched this alliance with 19 founding partners. And the aim was to raise the visibility and mobilize a global effort to address the health and environmental dangers posed by the toxic smoke from dirty stoves and open fires, which the World Health Organization considered to be a serious health risk, but one that I never saw being reported on. It was something that was happening, but not very many people were aware of it. Now, we knew it would be difficult. We had the technical challenges of designing safe, clean, durable, affordable, translate cheap, stoves. To the logistical challenge of distributing them all over the world and making sure that the models fit the needs in the regions and for the women and girls who had to use them. We hoped that by raising this issue and encouraging technological breakthroughs and growing private sector engagement, we would succeed in creating that market where other efforts had not yet. So we did bring together partners from governments, business, international institutions, academia, philanthropy, to pursue a market-based approach to empower people everywhere to be part of the solution. And we set an ambitious goal, 100 million homes adopting new clean stoves and fuels by 2020. Well, thanks to all of you. Thanks to the thoughtful and comprehensive strategy charted by the Alliance, we have moved from 19 original partners to more than 800. So give yourselves a big round of applause. And our work has focused on Bangladesh, China, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, with efforts beginning in India and Guatemala. And I particularly want to thank the President of Guatemala, who has made this a national strategic imperative. Now, the United States government has boosted its commitment up to $125 million, building on the $50 million that I announced in 2010. The Alliance already supports 13 testing centers around the world, so we can collect data about what works and what doesn't. And the Alliance has spearheaded new global standards for cook stoves and fuel, giving manufacturers, distributors, buyers guidelines for cleanliness, safety, and efficiency standards. And we are, yes, let's hear it for efficiency standards. There aren't many places I'd go for a party where people would applaud efficiency standards. You're my kind of people. I love this. And so we think it's working. More than 8 million clean cook stoves were distributed last year alone. That's more than double the number in 2011. And I'm so pleased to see how private sector partners are stepping up and signing on. The Alliance has driven $35 million in investment in clean cook stoves. We're on our way to a goal of $1 billion by 2020. Major new commitments from Royal Dutch Shell, Deutsche Bank, General Electric, among others, are building momentum. And these investments will, we believe, spur innovation and market growth. For example, the Alliance and Deutsche Bank have created a $4 million working capital fund to provide loans and guarantees to cook stove enterprises that are unable to access traditional forms of financing. The Spark Fund is helping partners reach commercial viability and scale up their efforts, and there are many other examples. We also have learned a lot in 3 years, and some of it's been pretty sobering. New research has doubled our estimates for the number of premature deaths each year related to household air pollution, from 2 million to 4 million. That makes it the fourth worst health risk in the world after high blood pressure, alcohol, and tobacco. And it is the second worst for women. So what we thought we knew 3 years ago, now we are even more motivated because we have much better data and the picture it paints is even more distressing. So this has to be a call to action to keep the Alliance going and growing, to find more partners, to expand markets, put more stoves in the hands of consumers, convince those consumers to use them, to learn how they will help them while still providing meals for their families, save more lives. I've been so struck as I look at these pictures and the experiences that I've had visiting in small dwellings in small villages in many parts of the world. And more than once I would be invited into someone's home, and I would go in and I couldn't breathe. I mean, my eyes were starting to water. I was having trouble because the cook stove was billowing out fumes that were not something I had to live with for more than 30 minutes, but which the women and children in the home lived with every single day. There's also the challenge of finding fuel, which leads women and girls to travel sometimes hours to find scarce fuel, putting them at increased risk of violence, and also taking away other productive activities they could be doing in those hours. Yesterday at the Clinton Global Initiative, looking ahead to the 20th anniversary of the 4th UN Conference on Women in Beijing that will be in September of 2015, I announced a new effort to evaluate progress that women and girls have made over the past 2 decades and also to be very clear-eyed about how far we still have to go. But thanks to the Global Alliance for Clean Cook Stoves, one thing we know is that women today are gaining access to tools and technologies far out of reach 20 years ago, and that we are helping to move toward our goal of 100 million households by 2020. I will be a strong and enthusiastic supporter and partner of the Alliance in the years to come, but I know very well it's all of you and people like you around the world who are really making a difference. Last year I was in Chennai, India, and we had a demonstration of the new stoves alongside the old ways of cooking that was out in an open space. And one of the universities in India was doing research by strapping respirators that recorded the amount of toxicity that the women were breathing as they worked on these various stoves, and keeping track of what happened as they changed from the traditional method to a newer, more efficient, safer method. And the numbers were staggering in terms of what was being breathed in before and after. When you saw the faces of those women who were trying out the new stoves, there was a little bit of suspicion, not an immediate embrace. But as they got the hang of it, and as the researchers explained to them how much safer this was for themselves and their babies, you could see them sort of just sitting up straighter and really grasping that, you know, maybe they wouldn't have to spend so much time on this very basic task, and maybe they could do that without endangering the future of their family. So it was a touching display and a great reminder of what we can do when we work together. We're all in this together, and we have an opportunity to make a real difference in millions of lives. So please continue your work in support of the Alliance, and let's keep getting together and tracking our progress as we move toward our goal in 2020. Thank you all very much.
So, Madam Secretary, thank you for agreeing to be our honorary chair. We could not have a better spokesperson. A woman who believes in this is so powerful, and thank you for all you've done to change and improve the way half the world cooks and will cook in the future. 3 years ago, you took this issue on, and you literally have transformed the world, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So we wanted to give you a special gift today. This is a portrait of a woman by the artist Rodney Rascona. It's called Our Children's Keeper. It's a woman from Torbi, Ethiopia. And the inscription says, "A woman with access to clean cooking solutions can change her life, her family, her community, her country, and the world." We know that you're doing the same. Thank you for all you're doing to make sure cooking doesn't kill.